New York State is taking new measures to combat substance abuse among school-age kids and student athletes. Governor Cuomo says more and more kids across New York are being exposed to dangerous substances.
So he's called on coaches, teachers, and school administrators to step in. 2 on your side's Kelly Dudzik joins us now to tell us how. Kelly?
Governor Cuomo says it's not uncommon for young people to get their first exposure to opioids through prescriptions they receive as the result of sports-related injuries, which he says can be a gateway to addiction. Starting next week, flash drives will be available across New York. They'll be loaded with materials that coaches, teachers, and nurses can use in both personal conversations with students and during public forums. Some of that material will include digital discussion guides on the opioid and heroin epidemics, facts on prescription drugs and their potential for misuse, and information on where to find prevention, treatment, and recovery services across the state. Earlier tonight, we spoke with Kids Escaping Drugs Campus Director Jody Altman, who says these new resources will allow them to further their mission in Western New York.
A lot of our kids are starting because of sports injuries. They're starting with the prescription pills, and that's what takes them ultimately to heroin. So we see that more and more with the injuries. The more we get into the schools, the more that we get to coaches, the more that we get to connectors of kids, the better outcomes we tend to have.
Governor Cuomo says more than 500,000 people in the U.S. have died from drug overdoses since 2000. An average of 1 call every 45 minutes was reported to poison control centers for opioid exposure in kids. And the goal is for teachers, coaches, and parents to have these discussions with their kids before the start of spring sports season. Kelly Dudzik, Channel 2 News.